Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This one is on reflections, and you'll find this in the 8th grade book. This is 8th grade unit 2.2. All right, so our learning intentions today, we should be able to reflect figures in the coordinate plane. And you'll know you're successful with that when you can identify a reflection, when you can find the coordinates of a figure reflected in an axis, and when you can use coordinates to reflect a figure in the x or y axis. So what is a reflection? A reflection is a transformation that flips a figure across a line called the line of reflection. Okay? So let's see what that looks like when we're talking about flipping it over the x-axis. So we're going to reflect the original figure over the x-axis, which find the coordinates of the image after reflection across the x-axis. So what this tells us is if we're reflecting over the x-axis, which remember is this right here, it's telling me that I'm going to take this original figure and I'm going to flip it down this way. So in this case, on our graph, this figure is going to flip down here. So there is a bit of a formula. It shows you the difference of what you have to do with your coordinates to make this happen. And for this one, if you're flipping over at x-axis, your original xy for your original figure changes to x negative y for our image. So our x will stay the same in both of them, but our y becomes a negative, or a negative is added to it. So if it already has a negative, then it would be a positive. So in this case, I have 1 for my x, well I know those stay the same, and then my y is 1 also, but in my image it becomes a negative 1. So my b, my x stays the same at 1, and then my image is a negative 4, then I have 3, negative 4, because I kept my x the same, and then my y, we added that negative to it. Okay, so let's see what happens when we plot those points. So I go over 1, down, negative 1. And this is my A prime. Don't forget to write those on there. Then we have 1, negative 4, which is my B prime. And then we have 3, negative 4, which is my C prime. So I will plot these very poorly. Let's see. And then there is my new image. So if you look at that, I took this image and I flipped it down to the other one using this formula. Okay, so if we're doing that over the x-axis, now we're just saying, here's my image. I'm going to flip it this way because our y-axis. This is our y-axis. I'm going to take this image and I'm going to flip it over to this side. Okay. So you're going to reflect the original figure over the y-axis. Put that there as well. So if our normal image, our original figure is xy, then our image will change to negative x and y. So remember, if the x is already a negative and we add another negative to it, it becomes positive. So let's see what that looks like. So our x was already a negative 4, and we're going to add a negative to that. So now our x will become 4, and our y's stay the same. So then I have negative 4, which is going to change to 4. Our y stays the same. Negative 2, when I add the negative, it's going to make it a positive 2, and our y stays the same. So let's see what happens when we plot this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. This is my A prime. 4 and 4 is my B prime. And 2, 4 is my C prime. I'll try to create these lines as straight as possible. And there we are. So now you'll see that I took this one and I just flipped it over the y-axis, and that's how we get our points. So the formula really does make it a lot easier for you to be able to do this. And so it's about remembering what that looks like. So you will want to reference these formulas, and you'll see that in other sections that we do as well. Those formulas are really going to matter in helping you figure out where to plot the points. Okay, so we have one more, and this is over y equals x. So that might be a little confusing, but this is, you're going to reflect the original figure over the line y equals x. So we'll do that here, y equals x. So all that's saying is that whatever my original figure was, my x and y, I'm actually just going to flip them. So now my image, the x becomes this y, and this one's y becomes the x. Okay, so let's see what that actually means when we put that into practice. So if my point A is -4, 1, in my image, it's going to be 1, -4. Okay, so I took the y of my original figure, and it became the x of my image. I took the x of my original figure, and it became the y of my image. Okay, so we're going to do that again. So -4, 4 will become 4, -4. -2, 4 becomes 4, -2. So then we'll go over 1, down 4, and that's my A prime. Go over 4, down -4, that's my B prime. And then 4, -2, and that is my C prime. And here is my new image. So I'm taking it and I'm flipping it this way. When you say over x or y equals x, it's going to take it from where it's at and it's going to flip it over this way. Okay? So let's look at the back. So you're going to do a little bit of work here. You're going to see how well you understand this concept. So first, I just want you to look at these figures. The blue figure, you're going to tell me, is it a translation of the red figure? So when we're looking at, we know that we said it flips the figure across a line called the line of reflection. So look at these. Does this, if I flip this, does it get the same? Is this a flipped image? Is this a flipped image? So go ahead and look at those. See if those would work. Tell me yes or no for each one. Then down here, you're going to graph and label the image of the figure after the transformation. So what you need to do first is, here's your original figure. You need to figure out what are the points here. So I'll help you with this first one. So let's go to A. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So my A is 4, 3. So A is 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0. So my B is 4, 0, and my C is 1, 1. Okay, now that I know that, I'm going to take my original figure points, and I'm going to change them to my image. So my X will stay the same, but my Y will become a negative. So I'm going to have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 3, so 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have 4, well, 4 and 0. 0 can't be negative, right? So this is also going to be my B prime at this point right here. And then I'm going to have a 1, -1. Okay, so now I can plot these. It's going to look just like, oof, that was a little rough. Okay, so I took this image and I flipped it down. I've reflection over the x-axis. So remember, if I'm reflecting over the x-axis, I'm going this way. Reflecting over the y-axis, it should come out like this. If I'm reflecting y equals x, it's going to come out like this. Okay, so now you're going to try to do these two. Okay, so first find your points, and then after you find them, you're going to change them for your image to create that. So down here, you're going to write a reflection that is shown in the coordinate plane. So you need to tell me it's a reflection across what? The x-axis, the y-axis, the y equals x. You're just going to tell me which one is it doing. Okay? All right, let me know if you have questions.